We'll also review the second half of the season, and then we'll talk about the rules for the upcoming skills challenge. So, I have with me Speedy Driver, a part of the Speed Report, and I have in visiting driver Slothy Black, back in black, Slothy Jello Jr., or whatever you want to call him. He's here with us, driver of the what you driving? You driving
The number 9 Hendry
the
Motorsport.
number 9 Hendry Motor. I gotta get used to seeing you in that 9. I wanted to say the driver of the 2, but anyway. All right. Well, let's get right into it. What do we have as far as we know before the season started, Speedy? We were talking about what we thought of how these NASCAR Heat 3 model cars were going to do, what to expect. We didn't know a whole lot, especially with them incorporating damage in. We've been through 6 races so far. What's your thoughts on these cars and the racing?
Um, the racing, of course, has been pretty a lot better than what I expected it to be. Um, the handling wise and whatnot, the cars is just not there like I would like it was in 15 and whatnot on setups and whatnot, and be able to adjust. Um, but as for the racing on track from the competitors, it's been one heck of a fun time so far.
Yeah, Slothy, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, the cars have been. I thought whenever like because I ain't been in the game that long either. But I thought the cars would be handling like NASCAR 15 cars on pit road and put like tire pressures in to loosen the car up, wedge and all that. But I'm agreeing with speed. It's not the same. It's like the cars are tighter whenever you put adjustments in.
So, how has the racing affected the strategy for these drivers? Because one thing I've noticed is the racing has been really tight. We also have not had but one caution races. How does that change the strategy for the drivers out there?
Um, some drivers have to try to see what they can do it on fuel mileage. I mean, I know myself, I've done some things trying to do what I can with fuel mileage. Um, others have to try to outrun everybody and just do what they can to try to keep the tires on it and make sure they don't mess up going into pit road where they don't lose spots that way and just run the fuel all the way out. I mean, just lately it's been coming down to fuel mileage and that or just pit strategy pretty much. And pit strategy is key. You can either do the pit early, pit late. It just all depends on what you choose to do and what it will do for you.
Yeah,
Get in there.
yep. Racing's been really good. We've only had like what was it? One caution for the first 6
Yep,
races.
only one caution. Yep.
So it's really going to come down to fuel mileage, protect your tires, save your tires, and really find out who's got the better pit stops. It's like a team strategy thing, but just like separate strategies. It's like one big team thing. But whenever like if we're going like to like a mile and a half or something, you got so many laps on the field, you have to make sure that you run your fuel almost completely out before you hit pit road, and to make sure you can save your tires so you can last that long.
Yeah, and I'm curious to hear y'all's opinion on this. How has the damage affected the driving, how the cars handle, and what happens to them in the course of a race?
The damage model, it's not. It don't affect the cars as much like it does like on Arrow and stuff because you can repair it and it'll act like a brand new car. But it also will tighten up the car. Like if you damage like your right rear or something like that, it'll tighten up the car to where it'll make it go on the loose side sometimes or on the tight side. but the damage they need like improve just a little bit because you started hunting. But as far as I got down with my arrow and stuff, it was only like 94, and I hit the wall head on a couple of times.
All right, Speedy, what have you noticed?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
No problem. The question was, how has the damage model affected how these cars handle, how these cars drive out there on the racetrack?
Um, Not as good as I was hoping it would be. It's you get a little damage, it can really slow you down like massively. You can even scrape the wall a little bit and get way more damage than what you should get from it. And then some damage you think it would affect more stuff, and it really doesn't. So I mean, it's if either way, honestly, in my opinion.
And guys watching the stream, feel free to leave a comment in the stream. I'm more than happy to answer your comments on the board here and entertain your comments and questions uh, as we go along here. So let's move on to this question now. I'll be interested in hearing you guys' opinion of. Now that we've got that, how these cars handle, what to expect, your expert opinions. Who has performed the best so far this season?
My say is SHR with Nightfall and Speedy. They're unstoppable right now. They can be stopped, but we just gotta figure out how them two Fords getting up front and saying bye bye, see you later.
Yeah, Speedy, who you think has performed the best, or would you agree with Slothy about the Jars, either Nightfall?
Honestly, personally, I think everybody out there has been doing a phenomenal job. I mean, we haven't had no cautions. I think everybody has improved. Yes, Nightfall and Speed Beat, they have been one of the fastest cars out there almost every single week, every single race. But I think everybody, not just any one driver in particular, I think every driver out there has improved their driving skill, improved their game, and has made it some really, really fun racing, and I think fun to watch as well.
Oh, it goes to everybody in KMR. Excellent job thus far. It has been some awesome racing. And I think part of it that's contributed to it is having a full house. All 16 slots or 15 out of 16. That's phenomenal each week to have that. Continue to have that. And we'll discuss why that's important in a little bit. So if everyone has improved, here's the next question. Which driver surprises you the most in the top 10 right now?
As of right now, uh, I think it is.
You can be a little biased, Sloth, if you want to. I mean,
I think it could be myself because who started last year and then had my internet issues, power issues and stuff. But then who come back this year and right there, right with them.
yeah, Slothy currently sitting place in points, only 44 points outside of first place. Speedy, who you got in the top 10?
Speedy.
I'm sorry. I would have to say all guns. He has been keeping himself in there, keeping himself in contention, not getting himself in spots where he's in danger. Other than a couple of times he's had a couple bad races, which we all. But as a just not giving up and just still fighting through and getting, I think, some decent finishes. I think All Guns would probably be the one I'd have to call out on that one.
And interestingly enough, both All Guns and Slothy running on the same team this season. All Guns in the '88 Hendrick Motorsports Chevy. So, if I had to pick anybody coming into this top 10 that I'm surprised with the most as far as where they are and everything, I'd pick Speedy. No, I'm playing. I would have to say in the top 10, I'd have to say showing where he is, Slothy being 44 points out of the lead. I have to go with that. I mean, uh, and this hasn't been a situation where he's just been fortunate. He has really battled every race to get quality finishes, and he has been consistently getting quality finishes. And that
now that you're
consistency.
here, we'll play again tomorrow night, and continue from here. Actually made it.
And so he's definitely my pick as far as the best or the biggest surprise thus far. All right, so when you look at the standings, who would you say needs to improve the most in the second half of this season, this upcoming second half? Slothy, I think
Fracture, definitely. Because he missed out on a fight. We did, Cookie, it's your team. Y'all did buy him a supper here, but he just battled. He just needs to get up there and battle for the lead and stuff. But he's been showing for the race. Okay, there he goes. But he's been showing some tensions for getting up there, but he just needs to improve a whole lot.
We'll see. He is currently sitting right there in the danger zone, so to speak. If you want to talk about that, currently sitting in 12th spot. That's right there on the bubble for the chase. But he does have a win. The driver, I think, when I look at this, that needs to improve the most is Beloved. Sitting 13th, he's about 35 to 40 points outside of 12th. I think Beloved has the resources there to improve. I think he's just got to put it together. I really think that in the second half of the season it's going to be more challenging than the first half because now the road courses are in.
Yeah, we got road week
immediately
coming
when we
up.
get back to racing. Yeah, we got road week coming up, and Beloved notoriously is not so good at the road courses. Beloved in that Hendrick, it would definitely is going to have his work cut out for him, and this is where I think when Beloved sitting outside of this cutoff here is in position to get team points, and I think this is where the team points become a lifesaver for Beloved. He's going to have them. I think in order to be able to get a glimpse of the chase.
Yeah, that's what I really think too. If I gave him to him, I'm the VP now.
Heard the question. Go right ahead.
I would have to agree with probably honestly both of you. Fracture, yes, because unfortunately he has had to miss a few races and that's put himself in a pretty bad situation with points. So hopefully he'll be able to rebound and start being able to make it and get his way up. And Beloved, like you said, he needs a lot of improvement. He has the past struggled at. He's been practicing and getting better. And I look forward to seeing what hopefully he can do and using those team points to help him stay in the fight.
Yeah, for sure. Um, let's look now, since we're looking at the points, and let's first entertain this comment we have from our viewers here. Lone Paintbrush viewing the stream from the outside, and he makes this comment: "What about your point leader beating up on SH? They have 6 wins, and I got none." And we'll get to that in a little bit. Interesting comment, and I'm pretty sure all the viewers watching, if SHR is watching, um, we'll have to get back to that in a minute. But one of the things we want to talk about now, and the reason why all 16 participants being there, even maybe not the regulars, is because it has developed early in this season.
If he can just improve a whole lot and get him a win, or get him maybe even 2 wins, he could be knocked at 16th or down to, and he could be last year then before he has to get the hot seats.
Yeah, Speedy, who you got, man?
I'd actually have to agree with him. With Terrier, because I mean he's been um showing he can race, he can be up there, he can battle. Hopefully he can still keep that hot seat and possibly become permanent and see what he can do in the points. Hopefully.
Points, I can't stress this enough, guys. The team points are there. You're outside the top 12. Use the team point, especially these guys right here on the bubble that are fighting for the opportunity to run any given weekend or any given race, because this is a race by race situation. The points could change, and person that ran the previous race could be out, and would have to switch with a person that found themselves inside of the series by points. This cutoff is only a 4 points difference that can be made up in a really good finish. That could be made up very quickly. But when I look at this, Mordecai shows a lot of speed there at Auto Club, and Mordecai has ran this league before. He's not a rookie. He's ran this league. He's ran a season before. He has proven to be fast before. He has won races before. I think he get another opportunity. He could possibly be somebody who could bump somebody out of that position. But again, points are going to come into play, and that's our weekend. It's really going to benefit. It'll really benefit some of these drivers. All right. Final question under this segment. Since since Paintbrush had the comments that he has in the chat, how long can Paintbrush hold this lead? We're going to the second half of the season. A lot more FM6, a lot more potential for DNFs. How long can Paintbrush hold this points lead?
Until Road Week. Road Week comes Nightball. Nightball's absolutely going to tear everybody, unless me, Fracture, Speedy, or Speedy, or somebody like that can get up there and go with Nightball. If we can stay with Nightball, it could be me, Nightball. It could be right there in the top 6.
So you're not giving him a chance? You're not giving him a chance at these road courses?
At the road courses,
really?
No.
What about you, Speedy?
I'd have to say, I'm not sure. He's shown speed at road courses. He's shown speed at the ovals. He's been consistent. He's keeping himself up there. He can hold on to it if he keeps up what he's been doing this season so far. He might be able to actually hold on to it all the way through until the chase. I hope to myself improve. I'm sure other drivers like yourself also hope on improving and possibly going to taking that from him, just like SHR does. But if he does what he's been doing by staying consistent, he might he might be able to hold on to it throughout the full regular season, and we never know what's going to happen when the chase starts.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And remember, it started last season. No more seeding by wins in the playoffs. So he could potentially, if he can hang on with the start of the chase, have the number one seed moving into the chase, which is really beneficial because the first segment of the chase and the round of 12, the points are staggered. They're not all set at zero. So a big possibility. Let's look at some of Paintbrush's stats here. No wins, of course, we know that, but a poll, 3 top threes, 5 top fives, 7 top tens. So looking really good. He's got, I believe, the second most top threes in KMR, third most top threes in KMR, behind both Nightfall and Speed B with 4. So looking good, and of course his success at Daytona with the stages, finishing really, really well, keeping that car out of trouble, is a large. Paintbrush is leading KMR right now, looking really, really good. So we talked about what happened in races 2 through 7, and guys, for you watching the stream later on my YouTube channel, feel free to check out those races. They're really exciting, even though there are no cautions. Look back at those races. Really, really exciting. Brought to you by 105 The Drive. So now let's look ahead to the second half of the season. You look at the schedule, a lot of road courses. What can we expect from road week, Slothy?
Nightfall's one up. Nightfall. I think it's night. I've already talked to Nightfall. Sonoma's not one of his best. I can beat him. I if I can run the way I can run at Sonoma, like I did back on 15 on Forza 6, I got Sonoma locked up, and I'll be setting sail with a 15-second lead before even turning 5.
Okay. And to make you viewers aware, when we're talking about road week, even though it's broke up, we're talking about at least 2 or more road courses in one weekend. Kind of begins road week. So in the schedule, we've got Road America race 10, Sonoma race 11, and then the following week to start the week, Catalunya School Circuit race 12. Before we go back to the ovals for more short track racing. The first time we've had Bristol in quite some time in KMR. It will be back. Then we've got a Richmond. We got a Richmond race first, and then we go to the wide open banks of Dega, and then back to the road course to finish off the season with Watkins Glen. Speedy, your thoughts on the second half of the schedule?
For those of us that, like myself, that are road courses, it's going to be more challenging. So yes, we do have 1, 2, 3, 4 road courses within the next several races. But hopefully, all of us that do struggle, we can improve and keep our cars on the track instead of in the garage like mine was one weekend. uh, and I'm hoping for some good racing. Hoping to still possibly, hopefully, be able to see some cautions actually show up. Make it a little bit more interesting. But we'll see.
I'm definitely expecting Catalunya to be. I think we'll have at least one caution to Road America, and that's going to be an adjustment. From now on, the rule in KMR is any race track 4.50 miles and bigger, there will be sectional cautions. But any track that's lower than 4.5 miles with full course cautions. We tried sectional cautions at Road America at one time, and it didn't work out as well needed to. So there will be a full caution for cautions out there, qualify as cautions. But I do really expect Catalunya to begin.
Yeah, especially the first turn. First turn,
yes.
lap 1. that hard right-hander. You have a gravel trap on the outside. You get in that gravel trap, it's on. You can't stop your car. You're right into the barrier.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm thinking, also you want to be aggressive. It's the second half of the season. We got drivers getting themselves prepared up for the chase and trying to make their way in, but at the same time, you get damage to that car. So basically it's a Martinsville course form, Martinsville. You tear up your car, you're gonna be stuck badly. You're gonna go a lap down. It's gonna be a
Especially
long race.
Catalonia. Especially Catalonia. If you tear up your car, there's no pit road.
Right, right. And then, of course, more restrictor plate racing, race 15. So I'm looking forward to the second half of the season myself to see what players play in and see if
I'm
I can get
looking
the
for
victory
race
lane.
14 and 15.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. All right. So which team is going to excel the second half of the season? We've got in the team players here, battling it out up top the team point standings. But we have to remember that there could possibly be situations where these big teams use team points throughout the season to help their drivers out. So which team do you think is going to come out victorious in the second half, really pull away?
I'm trying to find team points right now. Okay.
At the bottom of the stats.
Thank you. I really think the biggest team it can pull away is CMR and HMS. That's gonna be the two big turnarounds. We're gonna get super hot. I know at CMR they got Fracture, Cookie Speed. Who's your other one? Hairbear. There's Beloved.
Yeah.
And Beloved. I think HMS with me, Beloved, and JP, and who's her? And Ender, but we can't. We have to wait to Ender. Ender gets the game, but I think that's gonna be the 8 cars that's gonna catch hottest team.
All right. And we have in Beloved and Hair Bear. And so in a second, we'll get a chance to interview them briefly. We got enough time for a couple interviews. But before that, let's answer this question. Who is your spoiler driver to sneak into the chase? Right now, we got several big players sitting outside of the top 12. Who's your spoiler alert, Speedy?
What was the question again?
Who's your sneak into the chase in the second half of this season?
Um, I'd have to honestly say possibly Fracture if he actually starts showing, is able to start showing up. Because he's very talented, very good at road courses and ovals. It's just been struggling on being able to make it, but hopefully if that changes, he can really change some things and just work his way right back from the bottom all the way back up, in my opinion.
That's right. So, if I may say, shout out to Fracture's Internet. If you go out again, you're going to have to deal with me. I'm getting tired of this.
I got
You
two
know,
of them. I
I will
think they're gonna
find
be
you and I will, well, I'm not going to, let me not do that or else I'll be the
a
one getting sued. But
cookie.
yeah,
I got two of them.
who you got?
I got Beloved, and I also got Lord Chevy. I think if them two can pick up their speed, especially during the road courses, Beloved, that they can absolutely turn that uh, point system upside down and and get up into the top after the field.
Yeah, if I tell you what, if I had to pick anybody, I would say that too, Lord Chevy, because of just this speed that he has had. And listen, this is not someone either who has never ran KMR before. Now he doesn't have a win, but this is not someone who has never ran KMR. He is a veteran. He has ran several seasons of KMR. He knows what this is all about, and so him getting the opportunity. He's always been the type of the driver has never been able to make a qualifier, but finds himself in 9 times out of 10 via hot seat or whatever the case may be, somebody dropping out or whatever. Performed really well. He's been in chase situations before, so this is something that's going to be keep your eye out. This is a driver to keep your eye out for, and he is one of the only Toyotas in the field also. And so
Yes, he is.
not a whole lot of team points, but if he continues to run like he did last weekend, I think he'll be able to use those team points to help solidify himself into the series,
No.
which is he's gonna have to.
Cookie, there's actually one more.
One of
One
the only.
hot-
The 66 is also in there.
Yeah, the
that's
66
it, yeah.
and the other hot seat driver of Eagles Man.
Eagles man,
Also,
the 78.
he's also
Yeah.
the 78 is also a Toyota.
Yeah. We have to keep an eye on those Yodas making a return. How about that? This series was dominated for 2 seasons by Ford and Chevy, and now this is going to be a big player in the upcoming skills challenge. So before we get into the rules of the skills challenge, we do have both Beloved and Hair Bear here. So let's start with Beloved and the driver of the 24. Let's get his game picture up here. His game number here on here. And I was trying to find it early. There it is. I don't know why I couldn't find it earlier. I think I was skipping too fast. All right, Beloved. Man, it's we're glad to have you here on the Speed Report. What's been going on, man? How have you been doing, and how would you judge the first half of your season?
Well, first half of the season, bumpy road. Possibly lock myself in the base and did that. Turn up points in myself. I'm my hardest.
You said it was a bumpy road. What do you think you struggled with the most this season so far?
Well, Indianapolis bad my router's pretty strong. I'm gonna try my best. I'm a veteran. Lock myself.
And we would love to see you in a win with a win, and we'd love to see you have the opportunity to fight in the chase. Now you have been in the chase before, so in preparing for a chase or this run to try to get in the chase, what do you think is different this season that you'll have to do compared to a couple seasons ago when you were in the chase and ran in the chase? What do you think you'll have to do differently?
Just not time. Work my way up.
All right, we'll keep an eye on you. You're with a new team this season, so How do you feel that's helped you so far in the first half of the season?
Well, and get past them. This season, I gotta say, I never get this number 24 up front.
Okay. You looking? I know you've looked at the schedule already. You see those FM6 road courses there coming up on Road Week. Um, how challenging do you think it's going to be for you to get yourself up through those road courses and into the chase picture before Watkins Glen?
Well, but now I will start them, but I'm gonna try. Hope that, which is a little bit. Speaking of road courses, we have Road America,
Yep.
Sonoma, there again. Probably have the off course. I like over in 50 where I have the seat. I'm gonna try.
Yep. And I know you got team points there too to help you out. So I'm pretty sure those will become influential in your being able to achieve the goal of getting into the chase and having a shot at battling for that championship. Thank you, beloved, for joining us on the show today and or tonight, and we look forward to seeing you out there, not only the skills challenge, but for the start of or the restart of race in the second half of the season there at IMS. And so now let's chat with Hair Bear, who's also on the show with us, and I don't have his number indicator, so we're just going to use mine because Hair Bear is in the 36 CMR Chevrolet. Hair Bear, thanks for joining us, man. Not the greatest start for your season, but you were one of the only CMR drivers, if I recall, that finished the Daytona 500. So it can't be all that bad. Right now you're sitting, let me look at it to be sure. Right now you're sitting 10th place in points. So in the chase cutoff, within the chase cutoff. If it were to start today, you're in the chase. How would you grade the first half of your season? And what do you need to do the second half of your season to get better?
Uh, more better myself. After the other study part just need help on.
Okay, why would you give yourself a C plus? Uh, talk more on that a little bit. Why C plus?
After finishing
That is really good.
Okay. How important will the non-road course races be to you in the second half of the season? IMS, Talladega, Richmond, Bristol. How important will those tracks be for you in the chase, setting up for the chase?
It'll be really good to in last this really
Yeah, definitely. Which one of those races do you think you could win at? Which one of those races do you think you have the biggest opportunity to win?
I would say
Okay. So we'll definitely keep our eyes out on the 36 as you try to battle your way into the chase. Now, you have not won in KMR. So, what do you think it's going to be like for you to get your first win in KMR at one of these tracks and really solidify yourself into the chase this season?
that'll be really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll all throw you a party, like for real. I will. We're gonna throw you a party. You get that dub, we'll throw you a party. Looking forward to that moment. You are also with a new team. You were with the 43 last season. Now you're at the 36 in CMR. How different has it been working with teammates like Speedy, Fractured, and Cookie? How different has it been for you? And how has it helped your racing so far?
It is very good. Green red. You got a champion team. One more champion. Daytona champion. Different than last season.
And do you think that's going to help your chase performance? Assuming you get in the chase, do you think that will be a big part of your chase success? Is having those teammates that you can bank on out there on the racetrack? We'll definitely keep our eyes out on the 36, and we for joining us on 105 The Drive speed report for the midway point of the season. Don't forget, guys that are viewing, to leave questions, comments that you would like us to talk about while we have a little bit of time to do it. And we appreciate your support in viewing us. Be sure to check out the YouTube channel, 105 The Drive, or excuse me, KMR 105 The Drive.
By
For
the
more.
way, Cookie, there's one more thing. Starting this weekend, 105 Drive will be on the back of my car.
Okay, so we'll look forward to seeing that too, in support of our YouTube channel. All right, so I know everyone has been looking forward to what is this skills challenge all about. So listen closely, guys, to what this skills challenge is going to do, or what it's going to be like. First of all, this is really going to hinge on, it's still going to be fun regardless, but it's really going to hinge on participation. We want as many to participate as possible. So anyone that is interested in running KMR is eligible to run the skills challenge. So we're talking about even our drivers that are in the hot seat positions like Terrier, Mordecai, Wool, Eaglesman, Dalen, all eligible to run in the skills challenge. And even those individuals who are on the hot seat list that have not officially ran their first season, they are also eligible for the skills challenge. We want as many teams and drivers as possible for this. So this is how it's going to be broken up between teams with Stuart Haas, because they are leading in the team points. They will get a bye for the first week, so they will automatically advance to the next round. But it will be bracketized, or is that even a word? It will be in brackets. It will be set up almost like a NCAA tournament bracket, in which each team that wins advances to the next round. The team that loses has to wait until the Ultimate Mayhem section of the Skills Challenge.
Oh, and that's
So
Demolition Derby.
that's exactly what it'll end up being. So the tag style this season is going to be different. In the past, the tag style was don't get the it. You know, pass the it was the tag style. This time is going to be keep the it. This allows teams to work together to keep the it amongst themselves, to really work together to build teamwork, and also to battle against each other. The team with the most drivers in the top 3 to 5 will be considered the winners. So for drivers or teams that are single teams, like the 78 or the 11 or the 66, or small 2-car teams like the 3 and the 31, or the 1 and the 42, they'll be teamed up with each other. So to give an example, it will be the 78, the 11, the 66. So of course those are all Toyotas, versus the 1, the 31, and no, the 1, the 42, and what's the other single car team there?
The 13.
The JGR, the 47.
47.
Yeah, there's a 47 car. The 47, 37. So I mean, or you can have RPM, Wool Tortoise, in the 43. But anyway, they'll be joined together versus another team. So you have the Toyota versus the other team I just mentioned. They'll battle. You'll have HMS and CMR. They'll battle RCR. You know, they'll battle it out, and then the final 2 teams remaining will battle it out for the championship. The championship winner receives plus 50 team points and plus 20 regular season individual points to individual drivers. So it's a chance to earn actual physical points from this. Now, after that, Ultimate Mayhem will be the last chance for any driver or any team to win team points and regular points. Ultimate Mayhem is quite simple. The driver that wins gets team points for their team and plus 10 regular points. There won't be any staggered anything. So Ultimate Mayhem will include all the drivers and all the teams for a chance to battle it out. So if you don't like somebody, now's the chance to take it out on them.
Hey,
Will not be penalized. No, not me and you. You know, I ain't got nothing against you. You know, but I might go after Speed B. I mean, I'm just saying. No, I'm playing. All those times he wrecked me at Daytona.
Could I go after Fracture?
He'll just come after me because he was trying to wreck me all last week.
Look, I wasn't trying to wreck you. Okay.
He was going to wreck you.
You'd have known if I was trying to wreck you. You'd have been wrecked. I'd have wrecked you. Well, you know, I'm trying to wreck you. But you on that note, yeah, sure. Yeah,
you were tempted to.
No. I just wanted to move you very sternly. I wasn't trying to wreck you.
Gotta move me very sternly.
But we're looking forward to that this Saturday. So keep that in mind. And pass the word. Tell drivers that are not tuning in that you may get in touch with. Tell them to play this broadcast back, and at about the 49-minute mark, tell them to tune in for rules for the upcoming skills challenge. And the website will be updated very soon to include the rules for the skills challenge. So, guys on the panel, any questions? for the upcoming skills challenge that you might feel would be asked by someone else.
Don't tell me,
Or
are we
we
doing it at the
include.
airfield, by the way?
That's the only place we can do it at.
I'm hiding. I'm not worried about you all. I'm just hiding out and just saying, no one ain't gonna find me.
Well, we'll see about that.
Pretty much.
Yeah, well, someone will
Probably beloved front bumper. Kapow! Beloved.
Remember, you get the it. You want to keep it. You
I'll
don't
find
want
it.
to.
I'll-
You don't
don't
want to
worry.
pass it unless it's amongst your teammates. That'll be the
Don't worry,
biggest
Fracture's not
difference.
catching me on that thing.
We shall see. It will be broadcasted live, so you'll get
And
an
Cookie will be
opportunity
taking
to-
place in it, so have fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna be taking place in it for the first time in a long time, and so will Speedy.
So will I.
Mm-hmm.
Normally we're in the booth, but this time we'll be actually out there.
Oh, what's gonna be the fun is the demolition derby part.
Yep.
I know.
Hard.
No, we're not. I'm not. I'm staying out of everybody's way. I'm waiting everybody else to tear everybody else up, and I'm just gonna finish taking out the takeout hit. Bam, bam, right to my rear bumper.
We'll see. We'll see how many flips
That knock
we
guard.
get. People up there knocking down light posts. Just to get hit so hard. It should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And let's see if we got any before we power off here. Let's see if we got any questions in the dashboard here of that we can entertain.
Please tell me Fracture's not listening. He probably is. No, he's listening.
Oh, we've got to have anybody that's asked any questions here. So we'll go ahead and power it off for the night. We appreciate everyone for joining us. It's been the Speed Report. It's been me. It's been Speedy. We didn't have Speed B with us, but we did have our guest, Slothy. Thanks for joining us. We did have interviews from Hair Bear and Beloved. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And we'll see you all for the Skills Challenge, Saturday, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time.